Hello guys, long time no see. Welcome to 2023 and Happy New Year to all of you guys. If that's something you already celebrated, I know people celebrate different types of New Year's throughout the year. So if you celebrated this last one on January 1st, Happy New Year to you. And I hope you guys had a great time being with friends or family or even alone for the holidays. Some people like that. I know I haven't posted the past 2 weeks because it's just been kind of crazy. I traveled back to New Jersey to my hometown, and then I had to travel back here, so it was just kind of crazy. But I really wanted to sit down with you guys and talk about my goals, not only for this channel, but as an artist and a potential business owner. So those are the goals I'm going to go over today. I obviously have some personal goals that have nothing to do with art, so I'm not going to bore you with those. I did divide these goals once I get into them, and I hate using the word goals because it sounds, I just don't like the word goal. I prefer intention because it's more soft. It's not so much a harsh, you must do this kind of thing. Because I just want to preface that these are all soft goals. If I miss one, I'm not going to kill myself trying to get to it. So I also wanted to start off with kind of the stats that I'm looking at this year. I figure, that's something we can start sharing together. So I have it all here on my handy dandy iPad. I use Notion for this. I cannot speak enough good things about Notion. So let's get into it, shall we? So current stats. I currently have a YouTube, an Instagram, a Tumblr, a Twitter, and a TikTok. The Tumblr, Twitter, and TikTok came on board probably, I would say December. So I'm not really going to go over those stats because there's not really much to talk about. As far as Instagram goes, I've had that for years, but I just started posting again, I would say probably in August or September. I can't remember off the top of my head. I've also had the YouTube for a while, but I hadn't posted my first video ever until I believe it was the 23rd of July. So these are just kind of like a half a year stats, which I'm not upset with them. I think they're really good for starting out. So as far as YouTube goes, remember I posted my first video on the 23rd of July. I have 115 subscribers by the end of this year. I currently have 116, but by the end of the year, it was 115. By the end of the year, I had 723.8 watch hours, which is not on track to hit 4,000 this year, but I'm still hoping I can. Views, I have 5.5 thousand views, which is not bad at all. I have 28 videos, so I made 28 videos since that first video in July. As far as Instagram goes, there wasn't much growth, and that's because I wasn't really focused on Instagram. YouTube was kind of my primary, I would say, social media, because that's the one I really wanted to grow. But I do have some stats here for Instagram. I have 77 followers, and I posted 12 times last year since I started doing it again, which is actually not bad, but I want to get better at posting stuff, so that's definitely going to be a thing this year. Some other things I wanted to note were trends. I did notice quite a few trends with, I guess, my videos, not so much Instagram because I wasn't really looking at Instagram, but traditional media is something you guys prefer over digital. I noticed my traditional Draw This in Your Style did really well, and so did both my videos about my dog painting and also the ornament sketching, even though that was digital, but it was for a project that was going to turn out to be traditional. And kind of in the same wavelength, you guys like my sketchbook sessions, which is nice. I enjoyed doing them. They're kind of a doozy to edit because they're big, but it's okay. I don't mind. You guys like videos about teaching yourself art, and I feel like that's something I do want to include more of in this YouTube channel, just because it's something I kind of enjoy talking about, even just more homework vlogs so you can kind of see what I'm working on and what potentially you guys could work on. I did edit my art curriculum so it kind of fits more with what I have time constraint wise, but I still think I can get a decent amount done this year as far as improving myself. So there's that. You also like videos that either help or motivate you guys to be productive when it comes to art. So I noticed my resets do decent. One of my most popular videos is my first video, which is about how to make time for art, which I think I might redo in this coming year, just because that video, like watching, and I'm sure even watching this video back, I'm gonna think, oh my God, I've improved so much with videos and stuff. But yeah, I might redo it and kind of edit it, because at the time when I made that video, I was working part-time. I'm working full-time now. So because of that, things kind of shifted and things changed. So we'll definitely have to do another video about that. However, I still stand by a lot of what I said in that video. And if you guys want to watch it, obviously I'll link it down below in the corner here. You guys can definitely watch it at the end of this video. So obviously, if those things that I mentioned aren't true to you, definitely tell me in the comments section what kind of videos you guys like to watch. I don't know if all of you know about this, but there is a community tab on my channel where you can go into that tab and basically see any posts I post to the community, and I post polls there a lot. And currently I have a poll running. I have I think 4 votes, and it's basically what videos you guys like to see or would like to see more of in the coming new year. So responding to that helps. It lets me know what you guys want to watch, and I appreciate that a lot. The other thing I want to mention is there will be an extra short video next week. So when I say extra short video, I don't mean a shorter video. I mean, I'm going to post a video on Friday and Sunday next week. The Friday video it's kind of something that my brother is working on. I don't know if you guys, if I've mentioned him before, but he is currently studying to be a software developer at college. He is working on a project because I had mentioned a need in the art community a little while back about how, you know, Instagram is becoming more videos and TikTok's videos, and now there's a whole AI thing where DeviantArt and ArtStation are allowing that kind of stuff. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't heard any news or updates on that as of this video, but that's things I've heard of. So he wants to create an app for us artists, only for us artists. And it can be anybody who's visual artist, or maybe you guys do sewing or pottery, any of those kinds of things. And AI art will not be allowed on it. So I'm going to do a little video with him. It's going to be kind of an interest check to see if you guys would be interested in something like that. It's supposed to be like a better version of how Instagram used to be, kind of, I guess. I've been working with him a little bit just to kind of tell him what I'm seeing in the art community, but we also want to talk to you guys about it and see what you guys think and have your input. I understand I'm not that big of a channel, but every little bit counts. And if we can make a social platform that's really cool and nice for artists, I think that would be really cool for us. So that's something, a little interest check video that's going to go out next week, in addition to the video that's going up on Sunday. So shifting gears, one thing I did find helpful, because I was like sitting here like last week, because I procrastinated this and I really shouldn't. Next year, I'm not doing that. When I was thinking about this video, I thought to myself, okay, what goals do I have for this year? And I was really struggling because I didn't really know, like, for one thing, I don't know how much I'm gonna grow this year. I have no way of estimating that. I think it's a bit easier once you've kind of reached like a couple hundred subscribers instead of just having 100. So not that there's anything wrong with just having 100, but I think it just becomes easier to estimate once you kind of see how much you jumped from 100 to 200 or something like that, you know? So there's that. I also can't estimate when I'm gonna start making money, either on YouTube or through some other means with art. I can't predict that. So I sat down with myself and I said, okay, in an ideal world, 5 years from now, what would I want to see or be doing? And I basically came up with 5 goals in 5 years. So that doesn't mean each goal is for each year. It's more so like, I want to see these 5 things done by the time I'm 30, which is 5 years from now. So 2027? No, 2028. So, oh God, that sounds so far away. But anyway, I wrote 5 things down. So the first goal I had was to make at least $2,500 a month from my art business. And by art business, I mean including social media. So if I start making money like AdSense or through affiliate marketing, that would count towards that. But that is a goal I have, to at least be making like a part-time income from this. I want to have, this is kind of a big one, 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I honestly don't even, like, I can't even fathom that in my head, but I think it's possible in 5 years, so we'll see how it goes. If anything, I'll just be working towards that goal. I want to hire additional help at that time because I don't predict myself, leaving my job, even if I am making a part-time income, because I just don't, I like my full-time job right now, so I don't think I would want to do that. And plus I have other projects I want to do on top of that, so I'm going to need additional help just from a business standpoint. So what I mean is, like, in the form of a manager or like a video editor or something like that to help me out, because this is also new to me. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. I want to start, I know this is kind of weird, but I also want to start a second lifestyle-based YouTube channel. I've always loved vlogging channels. I have fun watching them. So I don't know that that would fit with this channel. So at that point, like, when it becomes, like, obviously I want to reach a certain amount of subscribers on here before I start looking to make more videos, but it's definitely something I would like to do. And it would probably be vlogs, productivity, and maybe some cooking in there because I do like cooking. Again, it's something, that one I put towards the bottom on my list because I don't see that happening till at least towards the end of the 5 years. But another thing I've always really wanted to do too, because there's this side of me that's also kind of a writer, like, I enjoy good stories. I used to write fan fiction, so I would like to start a webcomic or a graphic novel, not necessarily on Webtoon, I don't know, but obviously I have to do research on it, but that's something within the next 5 years I would like to at least look into starting or start. I highly recommend doing at least goals for the next 5 years, like what you would like to accomplish by the end of 5 years, because it helps you kind of think about, okay, if I want to get to these things, what do I have to do this year to start working towards those things, if that makes sense. The other thing I want to say to you guys is, be easy on yourself. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen in the next 5 years, like stuff outside of your art business and, your own art practice. Like, life happens. So if some of these things don't happen, that's fine. You just move it on to the next 5 years, You kind of have to at least shoot for the moon. It's very cheesy, but you'll land among the stars. You'll still be up in the sky somewhere. Maybe not near the moon, but close enough. So I didn't really make 2023 goals. I have things to keep in mind and milestones, soft goals, because the goals I had were more arranged into quarters, which I will go over with you guys, but just things to keep in mind in 2023. I do want to post more sketchbook sessions, and depending on what you guys say in the poll, more of whatever I see there. I want to incorporate more visuals, so animated transitions, banners, like for my YouTube channel, social media advertisement on like Instagram posts. I don't know if you ever see, like, when you scroll, sometimes someone has like a card at the end with all their social media listed, and then images for my YouTube posts. I want to do a draw this in your style challenge segment at the end of my videos. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in, just because my most popular video is my Halloween prompts, the October drawing challenge video. Every week when I post a video, I can put maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 different draw this in your styles that I saw. It's kind of a shout out to that artist, and it's also a suggestion to you if you want to go do an art challenge. Here are, however many that are still open that you can participate in. I also want to post more on Instagram, specifically stories, but also posting more. Become more involved in the local and online art communities, because I struggle with that sometimes, just because I'm, believe it or not, a little bit shy. And also, I don't know, I have a social meter, and like sometimes when I'm with people for too long, I start getting like, I need to go sleep somewhere. But because I do want to surround myself with people going through the same things as me and interested in the same things as me. So that's something I'm gonna work towards this year. I want to look at more art and emphasis on the masters. So I look at a ton of contemporary art on Instagram, TikTok, what have you, but I think it's just time to also start looking at the artists of the past who were really good in their art and created masterpieces, I want to do an art project each quarter of this year, so that will amount to about 4 projects. I don't know what they're gonna be, so I kind of just have to figure it out as I go. I'm also doing sewing lessons currently. I'm not showing that on the channel, obviously, but my grandfather used to be a tailor, and he also used to teach sewing at, I believe, FIT. He's teaching me now, so I want to just learn some of the basics from him and then hopefully learn more. But if that's something you guys want to see in the future of this channel, let me know, because it's still an art. I mean, it is a craft too, but it's both. It's something I was interested in that I want to do more of, and I will be continuing that with this coming year. And then the other thing I wanted to implement is to start doing quarterly reset videos. So kind of like my monthly ones, except March, for example, would be a bigger reset, or rather it would be April, because that's when we're entering the quarter. So the video I would post at the end of March for April would be a bigger video than, let's say, like my March reset, because then I'm talking about my goals for the quarter as well as what I'm doing for April or expecting to do for April. In these videos, I will be talking about stats, because I think it's important for you guys to see this channel and how it's growing. And as an example to you guys, you know, I don't expect to be the next Kelsey or even the next little star nerd, or in other words, Al, but I'm just wanting to see my growth over time. And I figure you guys are probably interested in that stuff too. That's what we're gonna start doing. So 2023 milestones, and I call them milestones because they're things I can't really control. If I hit them, I hit them. If I don't, I don't, and that's okay. But I really want to become monetized on YouTube this year. If it doesn't happen this year, it's not the end of the world. I just hope it does. So in order to do that, I obviously need to reach 1,000 subscribers and reach 4,000 watch hours. I definitely think the watch hours is gonna be harder, but we'll work towards it. I also want to reach 500 followers on Instagram and 500 followers on TikTok. So those two would be like secondary to YouTube as far as growth goes. And then I said I want 100 followers on Twitter and 50 followers on Tumblr. So those would be like tertiary. My focus is probably going to be this year mostly on YouTube, obviously, but then also Instagram and TikTok, followed by Twitter and Tumblr. And then also, obviously, if I don't know if that app that my brother is working on is going to go anywhere. If I hope it does, with your guys' feedback. Potentially that could be added to the list. I don't know how, with his coursework, how quickly he can make an app. I don't know anything about that, but that would be kind of cool too. All right, so I'm gonna go over quarterly intentions. Obviously, Q1, which is the one we're in now, is going to be a little more fleshed out and in depth. The other three are not so much, because I don't know, like, it kind of depends on what I accomplish during Q1. I might edit those. But let's start with, I have 4 personal goals for Q1. I want to start my digital sketchbook, because I do find I tend to sketch digitally more than traditionally. So I figure it'd be nice to have a digital sketchbook and a traditional sketchbook. I want to finish a sketchbook, and I think I'll be on track for that. And you'll see why. I'll explain a little bit later in this video, but I want to do an art project, obviously, because I said every quarter I want to do an art project. I have to decide upon what I'm doing by the end of January. And I said paint a manatee, so maybe that's where I'm gonna go with the art project, because I do want to see a manatee this coming quarter. There's springs a little far from here, but not too far that I could go and see them, so maybe that will become my art project. So as far as educational goals go, I have about 8. They are a lot, but 3 of them are just research-based, like things I want to start researching. Artist websites, videography, and lighting, just because I do want to get better at making more professional videos. I also, you'll see as what part of my business goals, I want to make a website. So I want to start looking at some other artists' websites, see what they do, what they look like, what platform they use, because obviously I'm gonna probably use like a Squarespace or Wix kind of situation. So that's where the research bit goes in. The others are purely art education. So I want to finish the beginner's guide to drawing course on New Masters Academy. I started it last year, completely dropped it. I have 10 lessons left, and I'm hoping to finish them by mid-February. I want to complete the fundamentals of drawing and perspective live class on New Masters Academy. So they haven't announced the dates, although I did see a tentative date for February 1st. I was hoping to finish the beginner's guide to drawing before that, but I just don't have the time in January to finish 10 lessons. So they will coincide a little bit, but I think I can handle it for like a week or 2, which is what it turned out to be if they start February 1st. I also want to do a live 6-week New Masters Academy course. I saw 2 that really caught my eye. They haven't announced like firm dates yet. They just said spring 2023. So got my eyes on those. I put my email in, so hopefully I'll have some updates on those. I want to finish portrait sketchbooking, explore the human face on Domestika. I started that last year towards the end of it, and again, I didn't finish it. So that's also on my list. And as I said, continue with sewing lessons. So I'm trying to make sure like once a week I'm going to spend some time with my grandfather for sewing lessons. So hopefully we'll get somewhere. Now, as far as business goals go, I only have 4. 2 of them are kind of quick and easy to accomplish, but I put them on here anyway. So I want to purchase a charger for my camera. My dad gave me a camera that he had loaned to my uncle, and now the charger's missing. So I've got to figure out what charger it is and buy it, because I don't know that we'll find that charger. I also want to purchase a better lighting setup. I don't know, you guys tell me, how do you feel about the lighting in my videos? I don't think it's the best. I mean, my dad and I have configured a few different things. Even still, like, I think I just need 2 like light stands that I can point from 2 different areas in the room at me, but I don't know, you guys tell me. Create a website. I want to implement as I said, the draw this in your style segment at the end of each video. The next segment is just gonna be about January and what I want to do specifically in January. Obviously, a lot less goals, more manageable, because the goals I made for Q1 are kind of manageable as well. If you've made it this far, thank you. I hope you learned something or gathered some motivation to do something like this for yourself. If you've liked the video so far, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because then you see more videos like this and you become part of the community I'm trying to build. So I really appreciate all 116 of you who are subscribed, and I will appreciate anyone else who decides to join. So January, I have 3 personal goals, 2 educational goals, and then 2 business goals. So my personal goals: start my digital sketchbook. I figured out on Procreate you can actually create multiple pages within a canvas. So I think that's how I'm gonna go that's the route I'm gonna go. And I think I'm gonna make it probably about 30 pages. So then it's like more manageable. Decide on an art project. So that's what I have to do in January. And I wanna spend at least 1 hour per week in my sketchbook. Most weeks I have about 2 hours scheduled, but I just think it's important, especially for improvement outside of doing the educational stuff I'm doing. So educational goals, I'm going to do weeks 1 through 5 of my edited semester 1 of the art curriculum that I created a while ago. If you guys want to see that, I can definitely pop it in one of my homework vlogs. I already have one scheduled because I have, I think, January and February pretty much planned out as far as videos go. Research artist websites. I already have a couple people in mind, but obviously I'm going to look at some other ones. I don't obviously plan on blatantly copying someone. It's just, I want to get ideas for myself of what I would want. And then my business goals, I want to implement a draw this in your style at the end of each video, and I already kind of explained what it is. You know, basically draw this in your style challenge is hosted by other artists that are currently running, and if you want to join, you can join. And then I want to purchase a charger for my camera. Those are my business goals for January. Not anything crazy, but manageable, I think. And that's all I have for you guys with this video and for this week. Stay tuned to next week for the video I was talking about, you know, making a social media for artists. I'll see you guys then. Have a great week, and I hope you all enjoyed your New Year's festivities.